What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of
Holes in your
Holes in Your
drywall,
Drywall.
where Aaron
Uh,
and I will come to your house and put a hole in your drywall. All you have to do is tweet at us, hashtag holes in your drywall.
Dang straight. Hey, Reed, I actually have some good news this week.
Hit me, dog.
Um, One, we're coming out on
Hmm.
time, and then two, we actually have
Yep.
a guest.
No way. Who is it?
Yes, wait. As you can see in my camera, I have my good friend Connor Gooding with us
Yeah.
right here. You can see. Um,
Hmm.
Bad thing is, it is a pillow.
Oh, shoot. He looks so real from this side of the camera.
I don't know. He's just eyeing you down. And
Hmm.
intro. Holes in your drywall. Get higher, Aaron.
So, something kind of embarrassing happened that no one knows about. I accidentally thought Elon Musk actually named his kid um,
Well,
XAE12 or whatever it is.
he did.
See,
It's on
don't say
Twitter.
that because I believed it when I first read it, and I don't know why I believed it, but I said it to an intelligent friend of mine. I was like, I can't believe he named his kid that, and he was like, well, I think it's a joke, and it hit me so hard that of course it's a joke.
I've been taking this seriously. So I was just like, this man's
So you thought it was real
interesting.
too?
Well, I mean,
Okay, that
everything's
makes me feel
tweeting
better.
about it and whatnot. And like, they have
How
like,
do you pronounce that? As someone that hasn't taken math since junior year of high school, I don't know how to say that.
I don't know. It was like XAE, whatever, like RX12 or something.
Oh, those symbols don't have certain names.
They might. I don't know. I've been graduated, man. You know, I don't have to think about math or science or school ever again.
Well, that's true.
Kind of like our friend
Hey,
Clapp, but he's not graduated.
ooh. No, he's not. Aaron, do you want to explain to the loyal drywallers what you do for a living?
I make this podcast, and lately it hasn't been doing that well.
Uh-huh.
Um,
What's your side hustle that you do from 9 to 5 every day?
Editing the video, that's my side hustle. And yeah, no, I'll explain a little bit of background because we're 6 episodes in, and we're thankful for almost 200 total views, probably more than that.
Mm-hmm.
If you count YouTube, it's more. But
200,000.
yeah, 200. Wow. But I am a systems engineer at Cerner up in Kansas City.
So you engineer systems?
Yep.
What do you do? What does that even mean?
So I don't want to get too technical because, don't want to scare people off with my immense knowledge. I don't know if that was not right.
With your big brain?
Yeah, big boy brain moves. But I help test domains and like servers and basically just get the information per different like boxes.
So hypothetically speaking, if I had a Wi-Fi issue and I couldn't get the Wi-Fi to reach to my room, could you figure that out?
I feel like this is more than a hypothetical issue because you reached out to me yesterday and asked me why it no work.
And for let the record show, it's still no work. So I don't know how good you are at your job.
Well, I'm asking you simple questions like what's the model number and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like speed test, anything like that. Um so maybe it's just a sign.
Assign like an astrology, astronomy,
Yeah, astrology.
astrological,
I think something
astrol.
maybe it's your parents' way of saying, "Hey, move out. We know you just moved
Hmm.
back in, but we'd love to get you out of this house."
I could see that as being true.
So, yeah, sorry, I'm no good with fixing your Wi-Fi problem, but
Hmm.
that's why they have professionals like
It's
Elon
true.
Musk.
Yeah.
Hmm. So, when you have been watching Netflix on your Wi-Fi that you figured it out, you actually watch Abducted in Plain Sight because I wanted to talk about that.
Is that a Quibi show?
You really want to get into this right now, dude? We got like a 15-minute slot later for just Quibi.
Just for Quibi. All right, we'll save it for later. Abducted in Plain Sight. I watched the first 20 minutes of it so I could have all the education in the world so I could talk about it for this podcast. So far, what I know about it is that a daughter of a family gets abducted by their neighbor whom they trusted, I think twice, based off the description.
Yep, that's right.
And he's like a member of their church and a great friend of the family. And that's about all I know about it so far.
But like, how do you feel about the parents? The parents are just like, it's fine. Like,
What were they saying? It's fine about.
well, like she got abducted like the first time, and they're
Hmm.
like, oh, like they'll be back by
Yeah, see, I
tomorrow.
didn't actually, I didn't make it that far. She hadn't got abducted in plain sight yet. Or does she get abducted in hidden sight?
No, it's Plain Sight. And let me
Mm.
tell you, those parents definitely characters and interesting. Um, so I guess we can't talk about this podcast. So I guess we will move on to Quibi, which we definitely.
We downloaded and have our reviews ready for next week.
Yeah.
Yep, as you
Definitely
all
not.
know, 90-day free trial right now for Quibi. 10-minute episodes meant to be watched on your phone. It will shatter your world.
Yes. I did see well, I don't know if it was right or not, but I saw that they're making like a documentary on the Donald Sterling stuff. And I saw that it was
Ooh.
going to be on Quibi, so I immediately got disinterested. But don't know if that was like right or not.
Yeah. For those unaware of who Donald Sterling is, he used to own the LA Clippers and was a very racist, nasty dude who um, was forced to sell the Clippers by the NBA commissioner after making racist comments to his girlfriend about Magic Johnson,
Yep,
basically.
banned from life.
Yeah, he was an NBA owner and he'd go into the locker room and like bring a posse in there and show off his players like they were show horses, like look at this fine specimen and stuff like that, and he like touch their muscles and basically how Aaron treats me, like I'm a piece of meat. I
Okay,
don't really get
well,
tired of it though.
without the racism, that's how I treat
Yeah,
Reed. Uh,
like
but
I'm a show pony.
yeah, there's also a good podcast out there from ESPN about it. That's where me and Reed got the knowledge.
Hmm.
Uh, so this is a podcast now giving recommendations about what listening to other podcasts.
Yeah, I would stop listening to this podcast immediately and go listen to the Donald Sterling tapes by Ramona Shelburne. I think that's what it's called.
Sounds right. Yeah, sure. But
My other favorite podcasts are The Steam Room, which is Ernie Johnson and Charles Barkley talking about pop culture, NBA. Charles Barkley's one of the funniest guys alive. Other favorite, Views by David
views.
Dobrik and Jason Nash.
Yeah, I'm I'm conflicted about it now. Views. It's gotten just he David just doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to do it. But the
Oh,
only
neither of
reason
them want to be there, which is kind of annoying, but
I feel like Jason does. I like Jason because he tries to get stuff done and
hmm.
he's pretty good in bits. But then Natalie, I'm not liking Natalie.
Yeah, she's who invited her to be on that, you know?
She kind of is a hussy.
Kind kind of sucks.
Kind of sucks. But Ilya, I like Ilya. So we could talk about Vlog Squad all day.
Yeah, basically we are big Vlog Squad fans.
We are stands. I just learned what that meant.
What's a stan? Super fan?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Where does the T come from? Stans.
Stands? Not sure, but
Spans.
Next week we'll update you with what stance means when we
Yes.
find out that we're absolutely wrong and using it incorrectly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what podcast I got into that I kind of hate that I'm into?
What?
Crime Junkie.
Yeah, see, everyone, like, I feel like that's kind of the go-to crime podcast for a lot of people, and I've tried getting into it, and I don't really. What do you like about Crime Junkie?
I just like the stories. Like I don't like. I mean, the main girl that talks is all right. The
Yeah.
other the side commentary is not good at all. But just
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like a way to kill time when I'm driving and stuff, and like the stories actually interest me. That's what I'm in. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like a I don't know. Uh, I know a lot of girls are into that podcast, so I feel judged for liking it.
That's
And
true.
then when I'm drinking my White Claws and listening to it, I feel even more judged.
Uh-huh. Really, I thought Crime Junkie was more of a white wine kind of podcast.
It probably is, but I don't imagine drinking white wine and listening to a podcast, especially when I'm driving, because that's when I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot imagine.
What do you think is the if this podcast were to be joined up with a drink, what do you think drywallers would be drinking? Paint? Just drinking spray paint through their nose?
Probably so they can't, just like end the suffering of actually listening to this.
Yeah. Or
I would have said
drinking
that,
hand sanitizer?
maybe that or Barton's, something
Yep.
real cheap, just like how this is
Uh-huh.
produced.
Yep.
Oh, my manager's yelling at me. Oh, we shouldn't be saying that. Oh no.
This podcast is brought to you by Barton's Vodka. Drink Barton's.
Drink Barton's if you don't want to remember this podcast.
I think if we keep doing enough ad reads, eventually someone will believe that they're real and they'll
that's our
buy an
that's our
ad for
first
us.
ad read since like week 1 when I tried to
I'm
do
pretty sure I've done one every episode. Last
mm,
week we did the flight board ad read,
what flight board.
the surfboard.
Oh, yep. Well, that's not an ad read. That's just I don't no. It's not like,
Anyways,
hey, now we're
back
bringing you a
back to podcast. I have something to say. I like crime podcasts that aren't each episode is a different crime, I think. And so uh, some good ones if you like longer podcasts that take multiple episodes over the same case. To Live and Die in L.A. is a good crime podcast. It's about a lady that goes missing and the investigation and her boyfriend. And then the greatest podcast of all time, S Town.
oh.
It's about a murder that happens in this small town in Alabama, and kind of the characters and profiles involved in that town. And Serial podcast. Season 1 is investigating a murder that happened 18 years ago, or maybe a little longer. Season 2 is about a soldier who left his post, and season 3 is different court cases in Cleveland, Ohio. Best podcast ever.
Well, other than this one, thank you.
Yes.
You set us up so well, like best podcast ever. I was like, oh my, he's already, giving us a rating and everything. I want to put that out there too. We have
What?
5 ratings on the Apple Podcast app.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, all 5 stars. Highly recommend.
Uh-huh.
We just got an edit, I think. Wow. Yeah. Finally, your edits are showing up. But, so there's 2 written reviews. One of them is
Yes.
Reid, and you can tell it's Reid because his name is in the comment, and it's like
Well,
so good. So like
uh,
when people see your name in the like
uh-huh.
description and then go down and look at the ratings, when all 200,000 listeners go to give us a rating, they're going to be
Yeah.
like, this dude gave himself a rating. That's like liking your own Instagram picture.
I always like my own Instagram picture. You know why? If I didn't like it, I wouldn't freaking post it.
I don't have to give myself a like.
You don't like yourself?
Why else would I post it if I didn't like it? But then why do I have to like it already?
Well, what's wrong with liking it? You know?
Well,
Just
okay.
give it a
Well,
quick double
the
tap.
thing back in the day, I feel like when you could tell views and stuff is just getting the or when you could tell likes and stuff
Getting
would
your
just be
likes
getting the
up.
likes up.
Yeah.
Which no, I'm totally not against. But if you guys would go comment on my recent,
Go like
uh,
everything that I've ever
go
posted,
like
please.
everything that I've ever posted, share it. I will shout you out on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I have to talk to my agent, Wake and Lee,
Yep.
uh, because whenever I get, you get those comments that are like, "Hey, you look really good in this. DM us or something like that." I always tag Waken, and then Waken is my brand manager or anything like that. And so far, no deals. So
No deals.
yeah. Um, but back to
Well,
what I was
speaking
saying.
of Instagram likes, back in high school, I used to. I had a friend that would follow like 500 accounts and then unfollow him, and they would like continue to follow him. He found this list from a website of profiles that I assume weren't real at
Bots.
all, and they were just bots that would just immediately follow you back. So I probably have like 100 or 200 fake followers from high school still.
Wow, you're a bot.
Exposing myself, I
Yeah,
know.
I know. Now you're gonna lose 200 followers when they're like, "Hey, I'm real." They're talking about me bad.
Frick.
Yeah. What was I even comparing? Liking Oh, giving us a rating, of course. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Go like us on YouTube too. I don't know. Got to shout out my parents. Got a picture from them Saturday night. Prime time. They could be watching any show, anything like that.
Hmm.
And my mother, bless her heart, sends me a picture of her and my dad watching this podcast on YouTube. And it was like Saturday night entertainment. And
Yep.
yeah, shout out my two fans right there.
Yep. Holler for the holers. Speaking of that, I never look at the camera because I don't. I assume that just no one watches this on YouTube, which is not the case. I think our last video had close to 1 million views. So,
Yeah, or something like 10 million, maybe without the million.
yep.
Yeah. And Reed wasn't even looking out the camera the whole time. He was just looking out the window.
And
And
I'm still doing that.
well, now you're outside, but where were we in this? I don't even know. I'm keeping this in. I don't want to cut it because I feel like being lazy this week.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say don't listen to this podcast.
why?
Next week will be better.
Okay, well, it is hard because we just recorded one on Friday, and then a couple days
Yeah,
later.
short turnaround,
So
But we're true professionals here, so we're working through it.
we can't give it to you late 2 times in a row. We're not like that,
Yeah.
and it's been a short week, so not much has been happening.
Hey Aaron,
What's up?
how about we do everyone's favorite segment? Overrated, underrated. I bring up a subject and we decide if it's overrated or underrated.
I wasn't ready
Everyone's favorite
for it.
segment because it only has a name.
I
It's the only
mean,
one with a
I
name.
still had some stories. I had a cool office thing. So,
I mean, we could do that before or after. It doesn't matter to me.
um, I mean, overrated, underrated is really what the people come for. They want to know our
Hmm.
opinions. So I
Yes.
want to make them wait longer so we get more listen time. Obviously,
All right.
that's why we
Yeah.
put it at the end. So I've been watching The Office for like my maybe in my tens rewatching. I don't know. But just found something on the subreddit, which I don't go on or
Hmm.
know what a subreddit is. I think it's like a sub sandwich, a kind of sub sandwich.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Um, and then this is according to the Office Ladies, which is uh, another podcast, which I don't listen to. I don't like hearing them, honestly. They kind of annoy me.
Hmm.
Love the show, don't like the podcast. But according to the Office Ladies, cinematographer Randall Einhorn came up with placing the talking heads in front of inward or outward windows to reflect which characters had a future outside Dunder Mifflin. So, um,
Huh.
yeah, and then they have a picture of Jim, and he's always with the camera like looking out behind
Out the
him.
window.
And then
Yeah.
Dwight, they have another picture of him, and like Stanley's behind him. Never thought of
That
that.
is interesting. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. See, sometimes I wonder about like those small little details that they do that like obviously there's a deep symbolic meaning behind that, but does it actually add anything if no one catches it or understands the symbolism behind it?
Oh, I
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I definitely think so. Because now every time I see it, I'm gonna be like, wow, that's so cool. And it's gonna be like Kevin outside the window.
No, probably not.
Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, if you're into, are you into those like small details or what?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate them, but only if I know about them, which 90% of the time I don't pick up on it because
Well,
I'm not very observant.
well, have you heard of the subreddit sub sandwich movie details?
Um, no, I have not.
Well, I would like what the heck? Um, I would like to introduce you to it sometime, possibly. Basically, just goes into depth of cool small movie details or TV show details, like the one I just spouted out. So,
Nice.
yeah, the more you know. You know, you're helping people with the crime podcast as you fight off another yawn. You know, you've probably been up for what 2 hours now since you get up at like 3.
Uh, well, I woke up around 11:30, but I did not get out of bed until 2:30. So
What do you do in the
that's
day? Because you know, no net worth, or
hmm
not income.
I have a net worth.
Yeah, you have a net worth.
I
That's my bad.
don't have an income. Um, well, see, it really depends on the day. I watch a lot of YouTube, of course, all in preparation for this podcast. Basically, everything I do revolves around this podcast.
We're very dedicated.
Yeah, I'll usually go out to eat twice a day because that's more convenient and tastier than making food.
You really?
Uh, yeah, it's kind of bad. Ooh, today I learned Dunkin Donuts has $2 lattes in between 2 and 4 p.m.
Happy
So
hour.
go get yourself a $2 latte. It's
That's not
actually a
my
really
today
great
I
deal.
learned though. I have a
No,
different
that's
one.
not the official. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to shout out Freddy's for coming from Wichita. You know, I always love to tell people that. Um,
hmm And Pizza Hut and White Castle.
See, White Castle, I don't really care because we've never had it, or I've never had it.
I've never had it either. How does it start here and then they don't have a single one here for the past 20 years? I don't know.
It's kind of like I think Chick-fil-A too. We had a Chick-fil-A and then it went to the RSC only. Maybe I'm wrong on
Yeah,
that.
but Chick-fil-A didn't start here.
Yeah, I know, but shout out Pizza Hut though. You know, it's
Yep.
clutch. Um, Glad to know Mr. Hut as well. Um,
It's the family business.
Crap. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, YouTube. We can talk about gaming, you know, since during this quarantine, there's been a lot of people just gaming. I know Reed, this is like the one thing he told me, hey, Aaron, we got to talk about this. This is a hot commodity, especially in quarantine.
Yeah, that does not sound like me.
Really? Because you game all the time and you've been watching YouTube, which I figured is gaming.
I don't watch any gaming YouTube. I don't know if I don't know what it is. That is not something I care to watch.
So what do you watch on YouTube?
Dude, I've seen literally every video on YouTube.
Well, that's
So,
false because you just said you don't watch gaming YouTube.
other than gaming, I've seen every video on YouTube.
That's also not true. I doubt it.
Well, it depends on the season of life that I'm in. Right now, I've been watching tons of like live PD clips. A&E has been posting highlights from past seasons, and that's been awesome, which has led to other prison shows. I've
Oh,
been
I need to get that.
watching a ton of shows about people in prison. I've liked the show Beyond Scared Straight for probably the past 10 years of my life. It's just hilarious.
But yeah, I heard that you sent someone a Snapchat or a message that you're just watching it, and you didn't tell me.
Well, how would you hear about that? Because
Because I talk with.
it's
Well,
not
he's
true.
actually here. That's the thing. He told me
Oh,
earlier.
shoot. Hey, quit snitching, co host.
He just told me, "Yeah, Reid sent me a video today. I've been watching Beyond Scared Straight."
Yeah, so I was watching Beyond Scared Straight at about 3 in the morning, and I had just met Connor that night, and I thought, hey, this would be pretty funny if I just sent him a Snapchat in the middle of the night of these kids getting yelled at by
How'd you get a
inmates.
Snapchat?
He added me, dude. I'm famous.
How do
I'm
you
a
get
famous
how do
podcast
you get your
host.
Snapchat?
I just told you I'm a famous podcast host.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Um, but yeah, if anyone's interested in playing Warzone with me and Aaron, it's Aaron's favorite game. Uh, Aaron, why don't you play Call of Duty Warzone?
Here's the thing. I love gaming, but when I get like one life or two lives and have
Mm-hmm.
to do with that, like battle royales or search and destroy, where
Yes.
you only get
When the
one.
competition is higher,
I wouldn't say that, but
I would.
I wouldn't. I just forget to breathe, and my heart rate just like skyrockets. That's the thing. I'm
That is
focusing
my
so
absolute
hard.
favorite thing. Yeah, it's the most engaging form. Like if you love competition and you want to be stimulated and engaged in the game, that's what makes battle royales great. When there's just two people left, my heart like starts beating out of my chest, and it's the only time I can experience that playing a game is when it's a battle royale.
I just get too stressed out, and
I
like
welcome that stress. See, that's the difference between you and me. I've got the Mamba mentality.
that's not true. But also, what I hate about battle royales is how you can go a whole session, like give it like 20 minutes of you just running around,
Uh-huh.
not seeing anyone. I hate that. Like I want to be in the action, and I want to like you know
Well, I mean, that's not just all chance and coincidence. You can land in places that you know will be busy.
yeah, but like I don't want to just like land out in the middle of nowhere, survive for 20 minutes, get shot, and then like, all right, that was for nothing. We got like 14th place. That
So
sucks.
don't do that. Land somewhere busy, get mad kills, and work really hard the entire game.
Well, I have a record of like one win and like four tries of Warzone right now, and I really don't want to mess that up. So that's
That
why I
is
don't
an
play it.
insanely high percentage. Shout out to Reid and Aaron for your first win. Uh, Aaron and we got his first win, and it was my first win too. We we didn't see a whole lot of people the whole game, so we
Mhm.
got we got down to the end of the game pretty easily, and then it was us three versus three other people, and they
Took
were
it.
on top of a rock shooting down at us, and
I knocked
I
one.
got my Aaron knocked one of the teammates, and so there's two left, and I call in a precision airstrike and kill both of them for my first two kills of the game, and
That's gonna
pretty
be
hilarious way to win.
so. I would be so like furious. That's why I hate battle royales because like stuff like that can happen to you, and just so
Oh,
many
they're very
dumb things.
frustrating. Yeah,
But then again,
and
I go play shipment 24/7 and just die 40 times. I'm like, this is fun. This is
yeah,
enjoyable.
that's just so mindless. It's
Well, that's the thing. When I want to
there's not
relax,
enough
I
there's
I
not
just
enough on the stakes.
yeah.
Stakes aren't high enough.
But like when I'm done, I guess when I'm done working an 8 hour day, because
Hmm.
I have a job,
Yeah.
I don't want to like go and just like test my mind some more and sweat really hard. So like I'll
I
just
need
go.
that competition.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. But like if it's a sports game, it's different. Like I love to play those like in person against somebody else.
Yeah.
But then hate playing it online. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, those are just fun to like play with friends when you're all in a room and it's like, listen, I am a better person than you because I'm beating you in 2K.
Better person in life because I'm beating you. I'd like to shout
Yeah.
out Clap again. The dude that's
Hmm.
never beat me in NCAA football, and he takes great pride in that because or I guess I do,
Uh-huh.
but I've made him rage quit several times, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I can think of another time where one of our friends was filled with rage because of NCAA. I won't say him by name because this is incriminating, but two of our friends were playing NCAA, and the bet was if you lose, you have to go streak. And this person lost, completely refused to do the bet, was being a sore loser, and said, "Okay, we'll play again, and if I lose again, I'll do it." The dude played, lost again, and then still would not streak. And then after just like 30 minutes of verbal abuse, this person streaked. And then after they streaked, it struck some chord in their heart, and they decided they never wanted to wear clothes again. And they would just randomly get naked all the time for the next year. So, moral of the story: don't put a streaking bet on video games.
And I'll clap to that. But who who was the person that beat that person?
Taylor Williams beat this shrimp.
Man, video games. It's cool to be a gamer. I'll admit, I like the game. Um,
Yeah, NBA players are kind of making gaming socially acceptable now, which is cool.
uh, I don't know about that one. They're getting in the thing is with quarantine, more people are becoming streamers, and like streaming.
Yeah.
I think it's different from gaming, because I feel like the streamers are just kind of, I don't know if they're just trying to get people to watch them in a way, or just they have the capability and they know they have the fans.
No,
But
I think the NBA is just so young right now that you have all these guys growing up with video games and like them being there. And then on the NBA, you're on the road so much and you have so much free time because your body can only physically work out for so many hours of the day. And with social media, they're just sharing it more.
I guess that's true. I didn't think about that. Shout out to Devin Booker, right?
hmm
He destroyed his keyboard. Was it? No, it was Josh
No,
Hart.
it was Josh Hart. Yep.
Like on stream, just takes a keyboard and just busts it. Like
Yeah.
that's gamer rage. I like that. He's a real gamer.
Speaking of NBA players playing video games,
Hmm.
I remember when they had the NBA players playing 2K against each other on ESPN. I saw a tweet that said uh, NBA players playing 2K against each other is like watching professional gamers play basketball against each other.
It's so
Do you
bad.
think that's true?
Um,
Here's the thing though, like NBA players are cool. Like I would watch them do
what do you got
anything.
about gamers?
Professional gamers I don't care about.
You don't like
Like NBA
Tfue,
T-Fuel. No,
Ninja? I'd
NBA
pay to watch
players
Ninja
I'll pay to watch them do what?
game. That's why.
Okay, well a lot of people do that. But my point is like NBA players, I'll watch YouTube videos about their daily routine or like their 10 essential items and whatever else GQ will make about them. But like when it comes to gamers, I don't care about anything that they do.
Maybe you're just not a real gamer then, because you don't respect the craft.
That's true. I never said I was.
Yeah, you're not a real gamer. Gamer, but uh, I think it's. I don't know. Watch first off, the 2K tournament sucks because the game is just trash. Because you got it. I swear the people that develop it don't even watch basketball because if you play, it just makes you mad. And I can see how NBA players get upset with it because
hmm
they have all these things that they can do and they want to do on the court. Like, hey, like
Yeah.
it's basketball, and they just can't do it, and the game sucks. That's where I will.
Well, yeah, the game is just so inconsistent.
Yeah,
Like trying to lay up versus dunk, it just sometimes the game decides you're gonna smash a dunk, and then it's just terrible.
yeah,
FIFA, FIFA is the best sports game, or Skate 3.
I agree with. I mean, FIFA probably has an easier time since there's less animations that they have to do. I think that's why. Because
Is there? Yeah, I mean, it also probably helps
that
that
it's the same game
that
every year.
the field is bigger and there's more people on the field, so they can be smaller. So you don't see the animation quite as much.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Speaking of sports and you know stuff that's in sports. Now we can get into over under because we're coming up
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
on the time. So what do we got this week?
All right, first, overrated, underrated, roller coasters.
I'd say underrated. Nothing more.
Why?
I don't know. I love roller coasters. I know I used to get like headaches after riding them, but I still enjoy them. I used to, okay, maybe this is why. I used to have Roller Coaster Tycoon for like the PC when I was a kid. I would
Gamer.
play it so much. Yeah, real gamer. Like I said, going back, and I just loved making roller coasters and theme parks. So that's why I think it's underrated.
I'm going to go overrated
Okay.
because they make me feel sick.
Yeah, but
And I feel like a weenie because last time I went to an amusement park, I went on 2 rides and then I felt so sick the rest of the day that I just sat on a bench and watched everyone else go on rides. And it was like, I love thrill seeking, but they just make me sick. They don't do anything for me. They don't actually scare me that much because I haven't been on the giant, insane ones
because
that
Reed
only
doesn't get
like
scared of
big cities
stuff.
have.
What about the Mamba?
It's true. Never been scared in my life.
You,
Mama doesn't scare me.
did you ride the Mamba?
Overrated, underrated. Dunkin' Donuts.
Overrated. Um, I've never had it. Maybe I had it once or twice. Obviously, I
You're
don't remember
kidding.
enough because it's not good.
How have you never had Dunkin'
It's not
Donuts?
on the west side of Wichita. It's on like the far east side, which
Yeah, because the East Side's way better.
okay, well, we're not even going to get into that right now. Um,
Overrated, underrated. Bacardi Lime.
first off, you didn't even answer it. I
Yeah,
know
I
you're
don't
going to
want to
say
answer it because I'm upset that you haven't been there. Bacardi Lime.
Cardi
Go.
Lime, definitely underrated. It's fun to drink that when you're gaming with your other gaming buddies.
Uh-huh.
If
Yeah,
you mix it with Sprite, it's really good.
I have no idea what that is, but um,
Me
I
either.
discovered it. I discovered a new drink that I like. So overrated, underrated, Modelo,
Raider.
Raider,
Overrated. Drink
Modelo
a Corona.
Cerveza. I'm going underrated, because I don't like beer, but
You look like beer.
Modelo, I could get into Modelo.
Nice.
Well, it's got a little bit more flavor to it, a little more spice, a little more carbonation.
I respect that.
Me gusta Modelo Cerveza, sir,
You know,
senor.
not everyone can be a man and drink beer. So
I hate this podcast. I'm quitting.
stop,
I'm
dude.
calling
Alex.
HR.
Alex actually asked me. He's like, "Dude, is Reed quitting the podcast?" He said it like 3 times. I was like, I don't think so. Like, no.
Alex, to answer your question, yes, I'm quitting the podcast. I hate it here.
All the success
Sushi,
has gone to
overrated, underrated?
so overrated. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah,
You you haven't had the right sushi then.
that's probably true. But thing is, I'm a huge texture guy, and the texture of sushi is not good. I don't like
Yep.
fish, so that's already like starting off on the wrong foot. And then last time I ate, I guess, um, I had like a seaweed roll or something, and it left the worst like
Ooh,
texture
ooh.
taste in my mouth. But if I would try sushi again, would I try sushi? Yeah, I probably would.
Okay, here, let me see if I can coach you up a little bit here.
No,
Since you don't like fish, you're definitely not going to like raw fish. So don't get a raw fish roll. Try getting, this is what I get. I get shrimp tempura,
I don't like shrimp.
which is cooked, it's cooked and breaded shrimp. So it doesn't, it's a lot less shrimpy than uncooked and breaded shrimp.
Well, just the thought of like actually eating shrimp and like what you're eating of the
hmm
shrimp is gross. So next time, do some research and then come back.
I'm pretty sure shrimp just like eat feces from other sea animals.
Yeah, that's why it's also
So,
kind of gross.
so yeah, by eating shrimp,
Eating
you're
poop,
just eating poop,
sea poop.
sea poop. But shrimp is the most tolerable seafood to me. So I get shrimp tempura, uh, avocado, and cream cheese, and it's just that. That is a good roll.
I'd be willing to try something with chicken, but I have yet to try anything
I
again.
don't think I don't think that's a thing that they do.
You'd be surprised. Also, I get made fun of because all my friends from high school love to go to Wasabi whenever we're back in Wichita, like over breaks and stuff. And since I don't like sushi, I usually just go there and get like a chicken
Oh
teriyaki
God,
plate.
there's a bee on me. There's a bee.
So after I was so rudely interrupted, I go there and get like a chicken teriyaki dinner or something. And
Oh,
like,
their yakisoba, so good, dude. The yakisoba chicken noodles.
no, just like a dinner thing of like teriyaki chicken. I don't know. And I always get made fun of. And like even the server one time was like, "Oh, that's okay. Do you want me to bring the fork?" And just like I was like, "Oh, okay. Like really this
Said
is
you
how it's
can't
gonna
use
be."
chopsticks, noob.
Yeah, basically just get made fun of for it, but still like going to Wasabi, you know.
Okay, well, go to Wasabi and get their chicken yakisoba. That is one of my like favorite dishes that I can think of right now in my head.
Okay, cool. Rock and roll. Totally underrated.
Yeah, underrated. I feel like a lot of bands that are still making rock and roll music are not that well known or do not have that many listeners. Like my favorite current rock band is Greta Van Fleet. They sound a lot like Led Zeppelin. I think they're better than Led Zeppelin. Any true rock fan would disagree with me on that. But yeah, rock and roll underrated.
Yeah, I would say underrated. I've been listening to Panama by Van Halen the last week. It's not my song of the week.
What
But
meme did you find that from?
what do you mean?
Since you only find your music from memes,
Well,
and that's
one, that's
kind of
rude
a
and
random
hurtful.
song.
I also listen to KEYN um from Wichita. It's like the old time, not old time, but it's like 80s and 90s music.
103.7.
Yes. It's great.
Hmm.
Hey, let's get into today I learned because we're going long, you know, because this podcast is great. Today I
It's filled
learned
with so much
this
information.
is from last week because I forgot to do last week's because
Yeah.
crunch for time.
What'd you learn today?
Dude, I learned last week slash today men walk significantly slower when walking with a woman, but only when that woman is a romantic partner. If she's a friend or acquaintance, they go at almost full speed.
No way.
Yeah,
Why is that? That makes, I mean, I walk very slow, and Natalie especially complains about how slow I walk. So maybe I'm just walking slower around her and I don't even realize it.
dude, that could be it. You know, man,
Uh-huh.
I
That's weird. All your cousins walk so slow around me. Why is that?
you know my cousins.
Yeah, whenever I'm hanging out with them, they just walk really slow.
All my cousins are in relationships.
Weird, man.
That is weird. Hey, what's your song of the week? Speaking of cousins.
My song of the week is A Change Is Gonna Come by Greta Van Fleet. I always want to say Van Vliet because Fred Van Vliet is one of the greatest NBA players of all time. But A Change Is Gonna Come, it's a remake of Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. I like listening to these back to back. They're the same lyrics, but Greta changes it up quite a bit by making it more rock and rolly.
Rock and rolly. Don't know
Hmm.
what type that ice cream is. My song is gonna be "Come Alive" by Hillsong Worship. Heard it on Sunday, and it
Ooh,
just, you know,
that's a great
I
song.
don't really
I love
listen
that
to a
song.
lot other than like meme songs and worship essentially,
Hmm.
and TMG. But none of their stuff is clean, so I don't want to like promote it in a way. It's not my image. But yeah, uh, it just got me like feeling in a good mood. I'll say that.
That's good. Do
Yeah.
you think anyone actually looks up the songs that we recommend?
I like to believe so. That's why we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that they do, but I'm gonna tell you, half the songs that you have brought up, I haven't looked up.
That's
So,
fine.
that's a great ending for this week's
Here's the
episode.
thing: I've
Uh,
never looked up one of yours.
I love that.
I just, that's your song of the week, and I have mine. But hey,
Yeah, well,
um,
I hate this pot. I'm quitting
yeah,
since you
you're
won't
not
look up my
quitting.
songs.
But hey, Thanks
You hear
for
that,
stopping
Alex? I'm
by.
quitting.
No, stop that. Thanks for stopping by, listening to this podcast. Go give us a
Uh-huh.
rating on Apple Podcasts so Reid isn't the only one of the only two
Allegedly.
allegedly Reid. But
And
thanks for
go like your own
listening.
Instagram posts, you
Yeah,
drywallers.
yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.